Hey everyone, welcome. This is the music chilling. Feel free to join us right now. It's beginning, and thank you again also for the replay team. I am live for my amazing Saturday mental health, and this is a free session. Like everyone is able to join. And so I am live, and I'm happy to hold you the space. And this session will be about emotions and the nervous system. So normally I have placed the link to this session, this restream session on LinkedIn. You are of course always welcome to join us on stage. I will post again the link in the comments because it's even better when you are joining on stage, if you can, if you will, if you want, so that we can share each other's. So welcome. I wish you are doing well, that you are doing fine. And here is the link to the restream. Let us breathe. And I'm glad to welcome you. Wherever you are, also the replay team, you are always welcome. And emotions and nervous system are a huge topic, by the way. So I'm glad to hold the space for you so that you can share. And I can give you ideas, I can give you resources. And at the same time, it's even better when there are comments. So here is the link on the comment just below. And feel free to join us on stage at any time. So, and I will lower a bit the music so that my voice is audible. So when it comes to emotions and nervous system, what are your thoughts? For me, it's about how the body is regulating when a thought, when an event, when anything that is internal or external is occurring. Like sometimes I have pain in my body, and then the pain is really heavy, and I have thoughts and it releases emotion. Sometimes the pain is abrupt and too heavy, and then I'm crying. And this is not a bad thing. Crying is absolutely not a bad thing. We are not machines, we are human beings from blood and flesh, and it's the way our body is coping to whatever happens. And with that, anyone is a remarkable leader when it comes to do the best that we can to regulate ourselves and to express our emotions. So of course I can share the resources. I was thinking I wonder, yeah, I'm going to check this website. Feel free also to check on this website that I'm going to share very soon. And of course, I'm happy to give the space to anyone who is going to join. But until that, I'm going to share this resource. And bear with me because I'm going to, okay, to search. Welcome everyone. So here I'm going to share my screen. As always, feel free to join the stage. And this is a book that I was witnessing 3 to 4 years ago, and that helped me a lot. And going right now to share my screen to let you show this book. It's a book from Debdana, The Polyvagal Theory, and it could be for therapists, of course, but it could be for anyone, in fact, because it contains, of course, the theory, the definition, and at the same time exercises to allow yourself to truly regulate yourself, regulate your nervous system. So, by instance, I can go to check this link and to let you know, like, it's really the polyvagal theory explained simply. And it's really for anyone who doesn't know how the nervous system function. And it's really helpful because it contains exercises like go into the nature, describe a tree that you see, and then it's from Stephen Porges, and she made it really simpler because the book of Stephen is amazing, but at the same time is quite really difficult to approach. So as it's described, we have three states: the ventral, the sympathetic, and the dorsal. And so I will post the links. I'm not going to the details, but it's like a book that helps you to navigate through any of your emotions. And this website is kind of well, and also a good, like there are also critics. But for each book, it's not a perfect book, so it's really interesting to discover the polyvagal theory from Debdana. Aside that, there are all other approaches to regulate your nervous system. And one of the approach is really important, is the breath. And of course, to hydrate yourself. But the breath is also an interesting approach. So the breath, there are many modalities. The most important is to breathe deeply, and depending on the situation, if you like if you are a bit tired and you want more energy, then you are inspiring more energetically, with more energy, and to activate your body, like, and then it allows the energy to come out. But when you are triggered, in order to calm down, you are inspiring and you are expiring more calmly, like, and you expire is longer than you inspire. I'm not going into details. There is a lot of example and explanation when you go to the breath work, multiple ways of breath work, and you can also embody your body, like using your hands and saying, like, so you can use many techniques, many kind of breath works, probably 20 to 50, 60 different network approaches and schools. And for that, I'm going to share also my screen, because I can point you at least 2 communities and websites that I'm not there anymore. I might come back just once in a while, but 3 to 5 years ago, or even 2 years ago, it was really pivotal for me to go into their platform, their website, and having amazing moments, amazing communities. So here I'm going to share first the first one, which is the Alchemy of Breath. And they have breathwork trainings, courses, session each Monday, also each Sunday they have sessions that you can join in, and there are also a lot of activities, face-to-face event, and so there are dozens and probably more than 100 of practitioners or more. And the founder is Anthony Abagnano, and he changed my life when I was struggling. Like, I was purchasing some meditations or attending his free offerings, and it helped me to regulate my nervous system and my emotions. So this is one of the platforms that you can go for breathwork. And then the other one that I'm going to share is the BBTRS, aka the biodynamic breathwork trauma relief. And I love also their approach, because they are integrating 5 pillars. Am I still sharing my screen? Yes. So the Biodynamic Breathwork Institute, it's another way of doing breathwork, and they are also amazing because there is 5 pillars. So, like, you see, what exactly is BBTRS? I will share all the links, by the way. Hope that I will remind myself to share the links. And it's 5 pillars. Of course, there is a breath, There is also the touch to your body, to really touch and soothe your nervous system. Then there is the meditation, and then there is the movement that is really also important, and integrating also your own sounds. You can sing, you can talk to yourself, or you can hum like so all are able to give amazing results when it comes to breath work. So that's about breath work. Previously I was talking about going deeper with the nervous system, knowing how does it work, that you have 3 states. Oops. And then there is the breath work. And then the next one is EFT. And so EFT, I'm going now to unshare my screen. I'm going back and forth, or I'm going to directly jump in here. And in EFT, there are also other multiple ways that you can go there. So there is first, feel free to go to the Ortner family, like Nick and Jessica Ortner, and here is the tapping solution. EFT is tapping. And feel free to check their offerings. There are free offerings. There are also an app out there, and it's to release, to be to the meridian, the tapping point, that you have multiple points on tapping, and it helps you to release your energy, your emotion, to get through any emotion, or the most big one. So that's for the Ortner. Then there is also Carol Look. There are probably dozens and dozens, by the way. There is Radiates, Look. There are many people in the tapping world. Carol Look is also another one that I could suggest. She is the most ancient in the tapping field, and she has also workshop offerings. You can check also her YouTube channel. It's really mindful. So it becomes about also having sentences that are relating to your issues. So I don't see again anyone commenting or anyone on the stage, going on stage. So feel free at any point to go on stage. I will go forward. So I was talking about the nervous system with the polyvagal theory with Debdana. I was talking about the breath work with Alchemy of Breath and BBTRS. And I was just talking about EFT, talking about the two main to check the Ortner family, the tapping solution, and also cover look. And aside that, there are other techniques that could help to regulate your nervous system and to work on your emotions. And one of the techniques that could be used is to journal, to write any thought. Then you do what you want. You can also use something like I don't recommend because it's really risky, but burning or throwing on the trash so that you can write and then put that on the trash, and it's about release. There is also painting or drawing or making visual art, and this is about art therapy. And I will talk more about that on Monday with Anko. One other thing is to eat chocolate. I'm going to do right now. That could help, but at the same time, it's not something that I recommend or just once in a while because if you are going to gain weight, and one of the reasons that the world is such in a mess is because most of us, and it happens also to me sometimes, I don't want to face my emotions. I don't want to face my thoughts. So what do I do? There are some people that are going to Netflix, watching movies, taking alcohol, chocolate, drugs, or they are sleeping and they are not doing anything. It's when their nervous system is not able to regulate, then they are in dorsal for resting, or they are in sympathetic, they are escaping, or they are fighting. So it's when there is something triggering about our nervous system, something that we have to do or that we face, and that goes to us to not be able to be in the ventral. When we are in the ventral, it means that we are in peace, that we are in a state where we are fully ourselves, when we are able to be at ease, when we feel safe, when our prefrontal cortex, PFC, could function, and when our amygdala is disabled. And that's the major key about the nervous system. We are either on threat or either on reward or somewhere in the middle, because it's not like it's not a binary thing, because there are situations where I'm in threat and situations where I am really in threat, and situation where I'm in the middle or in the reward, and situation where I'm true in the reward mode. And when our body, when our nervous system is in threat mode, then our amygdala is activated, and it means that we are not able to really take some time to reflect. That's why when it comes to a situation where we are triggered, when a thought occurs and we are triggered, or when something external occurs, then we can be aware, and we can use each tool that we have at disposal to regulate. And one of the tools that is the most useful is really the breath. The breath is the first tool. Like, if I'm triggered, okay, let me pause, let me breathe, let me slowly, gently, calmly. And of course, we are not doing that in the midst of the threat, because if I'm walking into a street, like in the middle of the street to go from a side to another side, and there is a car that goes fast on me, I'm not going to pause and to say, let me breathe, because I don't know what will happen. The car might brake and stop, or the car might continue and hit me. So all the tools that we have at our disposal are when the danger is over. The fear could happen during the danger, before the danger, or after the danger, and it's absolutely not an emotion to extinguish. No emotion is to be repressed. No matter what the core level or the second or third level of emotion occurs, the six main ones are joy, sadness, disgust, fear, anger, and I forgot the enjoy, probably. And of course, we tend to never repress joy, but at some point, it's also important to know that we can be on overjoy state and not be in a situation where overjoy is when overjoy is not welcome by any means. So it's like there is no emotion that is worse or better than the other ones, because at some point I would have said that sadness and fear are emotions that are worse than joy. But I truly feel that there is no emotion that is worse or better. It is what it is. Emotions are there to signal our inner self. It's a messenger that goes out. Like if I am in front of a tiger, I might not. If I'm in overjoy, it's not really the thing to have, because if I am in front of a tiger, then the appropriate emotion is fear, and then I will choose, if I'm in flight, to escape the tiger, fight if I can, like if I have a way for fighting, or freeze. It sometimes is not appropriate, but at some point freeze is appropriate, some point fight or flight, and there are many F's, but these are the three ones: fight, flight, freeze. Also fawn, flock, friend. I don't know, there are many other, like the frenzy of F's, but it doesn't matter. Like the most important is to welcome our emotion, welcome, because they are valid. It's the way our body express when we hug someone and we don't have fear. When we hug someone, normally we are in joy. When we taste something that is awful, like too much spicy, whatever, we are in disgust, and we are absolutely not in joy. When we are in front of a tiger, we are in fear. When we are in front of someone who is doing things and harming people, like we are in anger, because it fosters injustice. So the emotions are not to repress. It's just a signal, a messenger. So as I said, welcome to the ones that are live, welcome to the ones that are in replay also. And feel free, there is a comment, the link to the stage. If you want to go on stage, you are welcome. I'm doing it until probably I have 30 minutes. I'm happy to continue the session if there are interest. I don't see anyone on the comments, probably because I was sharing the session like 3 to 4 hours before, and I was not inviting someone, but you are welcome to join on stage and to discuss about emotions and the nervous system, because it's Saturday Mental Health. And later in 2 days, I will welcome Anka, and we will talk about our inner child and how we could regulate our emotions and nervous system using art therapy. And I would say heart therapy. And this is a fancy word, but it's about using our inner child creativity to able to self-regulate ourselves, to be in that ventral mode. Because when something happens and we are triggered, we are in threat mode, our nervous system is challenged, then normally we are in ventral because we feel safe, but then the nervous system choose either to go to the dorsal if we are like in freeze mode, if we are challenged and the body aim for rest and have to recuperate of a shock of an incident, or we are in sympathetic, which is fight or flight. The freeze is in the dorsal and the fight or flight is in the sympathetic because it requires energy. If we have a tiger that is approaching us and that is walking towards us, we gotta do something. Of course, we can say, okay, I have a gun. If the tiger is approaching I can use my gun first to signal the tiger that I have something, or I can shoot the tiger if the tiger is really near me. But in Europe, we don't have a gun usually. So, but it's just to say that we have to do something. We cannot say, I enjoy, it's okay, the tiger is my friend, Care Bear world. No, the tiger is a wild animal. So we have to do something. And that's when the nervous system is switching from ventral to either dorsal if we are in position to freeze without the tiger to harm us, or we are going to the sympathetic, where we are going to flight, to go away, to escape the tiger if we can, or if we cannot because the tiger could really run fast, then we are on fight. But sometimes, if it's an animal that we cannot cope with, if it's a cat, we might be on fight because a cat, even a cat that is 30 kilo, you can handle that. But a tiger is like not, it's like 80 kilo, It's like a dog. You can be on the fight mode in front of a chihuahua or in front of a cocker or a fox terrier, but in front of a golden retriever, being on fight is really, unless you have tools, of course, like a spray or whatever. So just to let you know that I was talking about nervous system, the emotions, and welcome on the stage anyone. Else I'm going to end the session in 15-20 minutes. And there are multiple techniques. I was talking about the polyvagal theory. It's originally from Stephen Porges, complex books, and there is Debdana that made it more accessible because there are exercises that you can do to regulate your nervous system. Then I was talking about the breath work, the alchemy of breath, and the BBTRS, the biodynamic network breath work trauma release. And then there is the EFT tapping, which is an energy freedom technique, I think, if I understand well. And it's from the tapping solution with the Ortner family, and also also with Carol Luke. And there are many out there about breathwork and EFT, by the way. And aside that, there is also, of course, chocolate. Let me take another one. because it could help also to soothe your nervous system. But of course, it's dirty, because right now I'm trying to take a chocolate and it's already hot, it's melting. And I have no too much chocolate on my fingers. And it makes also you probably having more weight. But it's a one way that you can use to soothe yourself. And so, welcome everyone on live or on replay. Feel free to comment at any time. I don't see any comment yet, so if you commented, I apologize. It's LinkedIn or Restream. And feel free to go on stage. There is a link below, the link on Restream, that you can join. And aside the breathwork and the EFT, I was also thinking going into the nature. The nature is the best teacher and the best place to help us to regulate our nervous system. Because, of course, the better is to go to the wild forest. You know, you go to the forest. But even if you are going to the park and you are sitting on the grass and planting your bare feet on the ground, that helps your body to self-regulate. And of course, you have to find a park that is not so much noisy, because there are also parks that have like a lot of traffic in the place or too much people. And lately, I don't know if it was the COVID, but I am less tolerant. I'm not per se agoraphobic, but at some point I don't like to be surrounded by too much people. And then when I come home, like I am in ventral, because I am home. This is a safe space at home. And I might also tell that for some people, sadly, home is not a safe space. Home is not a space that is conducive for them to be in the ventral mode, to be in a sane space. And depending about the couple situation, like domestic violence or too much children, and they are not able to find their own bubble space. That's why during the pandemic it was the most challenging, because we had to stay at home, and it was like the time where we were jumping on each other's feet. I was not like that because I'm not in couple, but I had a co-location 2 or 3 years ago, and it was the case because at some point I was in her space, but I was also in my own space, but it's another story. Aside that, aside nature, and I acknowledge that sometimes it's not easy to go into the nature because of the weather, whether it's rain or cold. And also sometimes there are also you are in nature to soothe yourself, but there are mosquitoes, flies, and you have enough. So agenda, there is a link on the if you want to join on the stage on the restream. Feel free to join if you can, if you will. I will still have my session for 20 minutes, but I can also extend the session if I have like you engaging or people on the stage, because I'm happy to talk, but at the same time I'm happy to hear you, to hear your other insight about how to regulate our emotions and our nervous system. So I was talking about the different states: ventral, dorsal, and sympathetic. I was talking about the polyvagal theory from the Dana, and I was talking about the different techniques like the breath work, like the EFT, and like also nature, and also art therapy. I will talk that more into details on Monday with Anchor. And going to nature, that's also something that could help. Aside that, there is also practicing a sport. Whether sport you want to choose, it's on your discretion. You can use um, more releasing sports like any sport like karate, judo, tai chi, taekwondo, or box. Um, what is box in English? I don't know. I think it's boxing. Like wrestling also, but I'm not like that, you know. Or you can use soccer, football, tennis, table tennis, or ping pong. You can run. There are certainly, I wish that there are facilities, complex or on the street, facilities for you to do that. I went recently, like few hours ago, I went in the Cinquantenaire Park, and there is um, mechanical machines or athletic field that you can use to run, you can use to exercise, you can use to stretch. It's important to engage your body also on that, to stretch. Um, so it's about sport. And one other thing you can use, like Crystal is doing that. It's really amazing how she's really self-regulating herself with her emotions and her challenges. She is humming like, and it's not weird at all. If it's weird, it means that you have to find a space that it's accepted or on your own. So Chanda, okay, you are on doctor. Okay, so thank you so much, Chanda. Chanda. I'm going to show your comment, although it's LinkedIn user Chanda Brown. So welcome. Thank you so much for supporting me. And yeah, sport and also humming or singing. And nowadays, I truly believe that there is no one to say that what you are doing is weird, because as long as you are coping, you'll find a way to cope, and this is helping you to go forward. It's not weird at all, you know. The only thing weird is when you are harming others. That's the things that I'm really fighting for. All the people that are downsizing, that are bullying, that are harming, that are uh, killing or doing violence to others, also violence to themselves, sadly. But some people are really struggling with their emotions and their nervous system, and they are causing harm to others. That's the worst case scenario. That's why it's important to find solutions to regulate your emotions and your nervous system. And I truly hope that people all around the world understand that it is the way for healing. That um, we cannot anymore do what we did years and decades ago. We have to heal this world. So I will be the advocate for stopping bullying. I will be the advocate for stopping domestic violence, for stopping human trafficking, for stopping anything that is harming people, like drug dealing or harming or projecting our wounds and our sufferings to others. We have to heal, and we have to heal in better ways. That's why there are probably 20, 30 or more different techniques, different approach. What I was telling to you is only a fraction. The most common, of course, like breathwork, EFT, um, sport, humming, singing, making music, going to nature, painting, writing, expressing, voicing, singing, and to release our emotions and to regulate our nervous system. And the main thing also that is important is when it comes to be in position where you cannot cope anymore, please, please, please find someone that is in your safe circle that you can express to this person your struggles. The worst thing to do is to keep it on your own, to have this thinking that you can overcome alone. If you can, good. And at the same time, I think it's really important when you are struggling to ask for help or to share in a vulnerable space to someone that is ready to listen to you. And that's the most precious gift that someone could give to you. Not money, not objects, not things or whatever, but their time, their care, their listening, their energy, their support. This is free. When someone is able to give another one their time, their support, their care, their energy, their resource, their, even free stuff, it's really because you will feel seen, you feel heard, you feel empowered, acknowledged, and loved. It's seen, empowered, acknowledged, and loved. And that's the most precious gift that exists ever when you are able to share in a safe space. So, hi, Deirdre. Amazing to see you. As I told in the audience, feel free to jump on stage if you can. I'm not able to show your comment on Restream, but I am seeing it on LinkedIn. And so, thank you again for supporting me. And so, I was talking about different tactics to regulate our emotions and our nervous system, like EFT, breath work, going to nature, singing, and drawing and art therapy. Also, I will talk about that more in deeper in a deeper moment with Anchor. It will be an amazing session this Monday in 2 days. So feel free to join if you want. Aside that, I don't see any other comments or any other person on stage. So I will end this session in 5 to 10 minutes maximum to be mindful about your time. And thank you also for the replay team. I will do that even without any guests because it's the way I show my vulnerable self, and that you as me could be a remarkable leader and strive to make this world a better place, to really, really shine our heart and to say to someone that is struggling, you are not alone, I am with you. And that's the most important gift. When you are able to find the space, the time, the care to someone to be able to express. And one day it's you that is requiring to express, one day it's me. I'm a human being, like any human being in the world, whatever their age, whatever their expertise, their journey, their tools, need also at some point to connect, to share, to regulate their nervous system. For some, it might be easier because they have, some people have years and decades of practice, but they are not proof, like they are not waterproof. Like it's also the emotions are really happening, and although for some people it's easier, sometimes it's not easy at all. So yeah, grounding in nature, yeah, putting your feet on the ground to have earth energy that are going through your feet. Going into the meditation also. Meditation is something that you can do And there are some misconception about meditation, because meditation could be washing your dishes. Meditation requires you present. When you are walking with a lot of people, with a lot of traffic, then I truly believe that you are in the meditation, because you are in the true present moment. You cannot escape with your thoughts. You cannot close your eyes when you are walking in the street with a lot of people. Even in nature, you are not. You can also hit a tree or whatever. So you have to be present. And meditation is really truly like that. It's not like closing your eyes and then say, "Oh." Could be, but it's not only that. It's really way extend than that. So aside meditation, breath work, EFT, going to nature, drawing, making sports, so there are many techniques to release emotion and nervous system. And the first thing to really understand is to be in your body, to be aware. Oh, I feel something. Because our emotions are energy emotion. It's the energy that our body is using to express, to cope, to anything that is. So the thing that you can do is to hug yourself, to see yourself in the mirror, to talk to yourself. It is not weird at all. And if it's weird, then you have to change space. Because if it's weird for some people, then you have to find an environment where they are recognizing that it is the way that you are doing to help yourself. So, okay, there you are. It's okay. Thank you so much for joining. Lots of love also, and you are always welcome. I'm really happy that you are here in my session. It's already Sunday morning in your time. It's really soon midnight in my time, and I'm really blessed to connect with you. You are a dear friend, and you have a lot of things to say about emotions and about drawing. And it will be another time. As always, I do my sessions Saturday mental health quite late in my time, like 10 p.m. And people are joining whenever they want. And I'm happy to receive any comment. And yeah, emotions is a part of us being embodied in the 3D world on Earth with humanity. I think the day that we will find a way to repress our emotions, that's the worst day on Earth. Because emotions are part of our human experience. And as always, it's like the plane cockpit. Like whoop, whoop, whoop. It's a signal. So the most important question when we are facing emotions, when our nervous system is triggered, the main important question is not how could I get rid of that, or when could I get rid of that, because usually emotions takes 90 seconds. But for some times, like it could be more, but it's a repeated emotion. You can be triggered by fear more than 2, 3, 5 minutes if the event is repeating. Like imagine you are like late night, you are on your own, like empty space, empty office, and then you are taking the lift to get out, and the lift is not working anymore, and there is no electricity, so you cannot call. Usually they have electricity settings so that you can call anywhere, but imagine you are stuck in your lift in your elevator, and you cannot call, and you cannot use your smartphone because there is no Wi-Fi, there is no network, no data. You can use it. Then you are blocked for minutes or hours in the lift. Then you can have multiple waves of fear, or you can have fear during few hours, successive fear. And I was using also like the imagine that people were reminding themselves of movies where the lift were broken and go down, like there are movies with crocodiles, and there are movies with lifts, like the lift that are having and then you realize that there is a Chucky within the lift, like, hello, I am your friend for life. The Chucky doll. No, I'm just joking, but it's just to let you know that emotions are valid. The most important is what you do with that. What are you going to do? Are you going to react? And at some point, it's okay to react for a few seconds. But at some point, you have to respond. You have to say, okay, what is the best way for me to handle what's happening? If you have fear, and there is no reason you have fear, then you can convince yourself and say, okay, let me use breath, let me use anything. If you have fear and you are in front of a tiger, then of course you're, no, it's okay, I love myself. No, you're in that situation, you have to really, your body is reacting, and then you have to find a solution, like either fight, flight, or freeze, and then react and use your brain, because I think there is the two approach when you are in front of a tiger. Either you are reacting, and then you are like using the reptilian, the animal brain, and you are of course sometimes it's good, but at some point you are, okay, the tiger is there, let me breathe, because when you breathe you have new ideas, you are activating your prefrontal cortex. Of course you have to find a solution, but it's good also to respond. So okay. I might end this session in less than half an hour, Chanda. So it will be next time, because even I'm going to end this session in few minutes. But anytime, Chanda, you are welcome also to join on Monday. It will be Monday, 1 p.m. EST, which is 9 p.m. my time. And I don't know the other time, but it's 1 p.m. EST on Monday. You are free to join. But right now it has been an hour that I'm doing this session, and I'm going to stop. So feel free to go also to watch on the replay to grasp that. And I was talking, but I was giving some ideas. So I'm going now to summarize in the captions. So I was talking about the polyvagal theory from Debdana. So I'm going to show it right there. Polyvagal theory from Debdana. Then I was talking about the breath work and the EFT tapping. So I was talking about breath work and EFT, sorry. It's late, my friends. EFT. Aka tapping. And so feel free to watch also on the replay to have more details about that. So, and then I was talking about going into the nature and making sport. So feel free to, in fact, the most important about sport is not to compete, is to complete. I love this expression, by the way, because I use like, we don't compete to each other, we complete. It's the same about sport. We don't compete even with ourselves. We complete. We are whole. We are one to our body, our nervous system, our spirit, mind, and that's the major thing about sport, especially martial arts, like judo, karate, tai chi, any sport like taekwondo, uh, boxing, wrestling, whatever. The main point is to use that to express the overflow of energy of all emotions, to regulate your nervous system. And it's more about what you are doing that matters. When there is something that triggers you, an emotion or struggle, like you are um, having an issue, a fight, or anything, it's about what are you doing to solve this. And for that, we have to also trigger your prefrontal cortex, because if you are in the amygdala, it's when there is a threat, but at some point you have to also to reflect, because our nervous system is there to save us, it's not there to block us. So with that, my friends, I'm going to close this session. Thank you so much. There are some Saturdays where I can be joined by others, and Saturday where I'm on my own, and this is okay. I hope this is helpful for you. Thank you also for the replay team. And so tomorrow I will make an announcement about my community that I will launch a bit later on August. And the first Sunday will be the free community call for the public. And that's the way that I will do that. And on Monday, welcoming Anchor at 1 p.m. EST. That's it for me. Thank you so much for joining